Update for you guys. As I'm waiting for FedEx to deliver the rest of my parts, I got the springs in last night, so this isn't going to be a how-to video, but I'll walk you through some little steps on here and there because I'm going to be swapping out springs on these KYB forks. These are 3 rates softer and should be pretty dialed. Now if you don't have a vise, which I do with soft jaws, all you have to do to crack this open right here, drop it down in the triple clamp, tighten it down a little bit, get your wrench so it holds it secure, and just break her loose until you release it from the triple clamp. When you're just doing the springs, you don't have to touch the compression or anything like that. All you got to do is back out your rebound all the way, and we'll get to the next step here. I do need to get one of those little straps that holds the camera on my head so I can actually do hands-on, but it's hard because I'm doing this on my cell phone, so bear with me. All right, guys, so we cracked open the top. It's pretty loose, as you can see. Put this up here. It'll slide down, and at this point, you're just going to drain your oil, so that's what I'm going to do next. And just let it drain for a little bit. And I'm going to reuse the oil that's in here because I had fresh oil when I did the ICS springs in this, so maybe it was like 2.5 hours, somewhere around there. So fork oil should be good. I'm just going to pour it into here. Let it drain out, and we'll get back to that section next. Guys, we've got the oil drained out, and the fork is in the vise. Soft jaws recommended. Don't do this if you don't have soft jaws, or find another way to hold your fork. And this is already backed out. I already did this off camera. So you're going to back it all the way out until you hear a clicking sound, just like that. Just like that. And that means you're out of threads. So we'll get on to the next step. You get those threads loose, what you're going to do, you're going to compress your fork. It's going to be a little tough because there's a spring in there. You're going to compress that, and I don't have the H tool, it's called, and when you compress it, you slide it in here to hold this rod out. So I don't have that. We're using a 14 mil open end wrench. That's going to hold this out while we get our 15 mil, 15 and 17 mil, and basically you're going to hold the lock nut and then your compression rod nut and crack that loose right here, unscrew it, then you can remove this wrench, and we'll get to the next step. And then you can unscrew this, and there should be a rod in there. Put that over there. I'm going to slide this rod out just like that. Place that over there. Now, once that's done, you can compress this a little bit, take that 14 mil open end wrench out and loosen up the cap, take it off, and everything should slide out in one piece. And we'll be back for the next step here. Your fork should look like this once you get them apart. This is the stock spring, and this is what I'm putting in. Now, it will come with preload spacers if you get aftermarket springs. Sometimes you need them, sometimes you don't. You just got to measure your springs and go from there. These look about the same exact length, so I won't be needing any of these preload spacers. But if you do need them, how they're going to go in, you're going to put them in first and then put your spring in. You'll have to look up the measurements of whatever your manual says as far as how much preload you should have in it. So now we're going to take our spring of choice and we're going to slide this in like that, and then we're going to get our inner cartridge here, and we shall try to find the hole, is what they say, right? There we go, just like that, and you're going to slide this up and screw in a couple of threads just like that, and then we'll start reassembling the bottom. Once you get that top piece screwed in, it's going to be a reverse process. You're going to compress it and put that 14 mil back in there to expose the inner cartridge rod. Then we're going to install the rebound rod back in the hole just like that, and Get your bottom nut. I like to put a little grease. And you're gonna screw this in. All right, guys, so once you got that rebound nut, this one right here, torque down to that lock nut, you'll remove your wrench and all this will suck back up into the fork. And then you're gonna re-torque this one. It's gonna hold everything up to 21, 22 foot-pounds of torque, whatever your manual says. This is different, this is the Yamaha. Could be different specs on the different brands. And pour in your oil to whatever your cc's you're going to use. Screw the top cap back on, and what I like to do, I use silicone shine. It is for suspension, safe on all this stuff, on seals. I do this every time after I ride my bike and clean it, and it just puts a nice polish and cleans it up. And we have this fork done already as well, and it is much softer. Got rid of those heavy springs, so this should make a huge improvement because this is 3 rates softer. So we'll definitely get footage maybe tomorrow or the next day and let you know my feedback on this, but I could already tell it's gonna make a huge difference right here. So enjoy the video. I know there's a lot of these out there, but I just wanted to make my own. So doing it with my cell phone in one hand in the garage, and it's like 40 degrees. So I'll see you guys in the next drop.